Do y'all remember when Hitch came out? I was all about the song, all about it. Loved it. I loved this song. I don't own the rights to this music, just in case if social media wants to get any bright ideas. Let me shoulder roll it out for A-Marie. So look, they're having another Versus this weekend, and they're doing like a Caribbean one. So I am amped. Maybe you know, maybe you don't know, I am Belizean from Central America, so I am all about this reggae life, soca. That's what I have my baby listen to for bath time so she can get all in alignment. So every time she hears like reggae, soca, or anything, she starts moving and grooving. I'm like, yes, Caribbean gal. I'm here for all of this. Welcome, A Dose of Rose. I'm trying to get my, life together when I'm touching my screen, because if I'm not careful, you'll see all these boxes in my office with shirts every time I spin the screen around on Instagram. Hi, Raquel, shoulder roll. Thanks for joining. Hi, Jana, my Jana. Thanks for joining, girls. So look, got my A-Marie going. Yes, just this one thing. So look, I wanted to have a little chitter chat as we get ready to jump into today's episode. And have you ever been, trying a new recipe or one of your favorite recipes, right? And you probably waited a little too long to start cooking, and it looks so delicious, right? You're putting everything together and you tell yourself, well, so this is what I tell myself, ooh, this looks so good. I'm going to take a picture of it and post it on my Instagram. So the last 2 days I've made this, it's a flaky fish. I think it's called like pollock or something like that. Polak, something like that. And it's a flaky fish, kind of like cod, because I couldn't find cod at the store. So I thought to myself, what's the next kind of flaky fish that could be a good stand-in? And I made these sandwiches with a Chesapeake Bay blend seasoning that, you add like nutmeg, you put some cinnamon, you put a little cayenne, a little pepper, a little salt, a little bit of everything, and it smells really good. And then you make it with the red cabbage slaw and tartar sauce. And I love making my own tartar sauce, and I've been trying to up my tartar sauce game, so now I've been adding capers. Delish! So I meant to take a picture yesterday, meant to take a picture the day before, but I was hungry and it looked so good, I gobbled it right up. And so no picture got taken, but it was so good. And I still have a lot of seasoning because, I just blended all those seasonings together to make that Chesapeake Bay seasoning to put inside of the the sandwiches as I flake up the fish and pull it all together to make a patty. Oh my God, y'all. So good and so light and fresh. You feel healthy, even though you could literally eat 2 of those things on a brioche bun or a potato bun. I'm here for all of that. Here for all of it. Okay, so I had a title. Thanks for joining, TCS sister. I had a title for today. So today's title is The Ultimate Network. Yes, and it's really your ultimate network. And I could be lying because I put the title in Facebook. That might not be what it's called. What did I call it? I can't even see. Hilaire. Well, there's that. And I put the spectacles on to get my life together and everything. But we are talking about building the ultimate network today. And so maybe on Instagram, we're just going to have a different title as we get ready to jump in. So look, I've got my notes. Hold that thought. Don't go anywhere. And tell me, do you enjoy this? I enjoy this. If you know me, I enjoy a good sleeve. And you can't really see on Instagram. Let me post this. Or not post it. Let me pin this. Let's see. I enjoy this. Do you enjoy it? Okay, let me grab my notes so that I can get my poop in a group, and then we're gonna go ahead and jump in. But that, my chitter chat, listen, all I think about is food all the time. Even though in quarantine, a lot of my friends have told me that they've been eating a ton. You know, they've just been doing a lot of grazing. And for me, I haven't been eating as much as I would like. I almost feel like I'm starving a little bit. I think that I'm like so busy and I'm trying to, you know, come up with this strategy and get everything together with TCS that I kind of feel as if I don't have time to eat, like I would rather drink my meal. I wish there was protein shakes that I could drink. And I used to love muscle milk back in the day, but I'm lactose intolerant, so I cannot be about that muscle milk life. So look, grabbing my notes, I meant to grab them before we started. Nevertheless, though, she persisted. So here we are. I've got my, oh, I know what this one is called. It's called Hello, I'm Awesome. Maybe I should pin that too. Okay, maybe not. Maybe not, because I feel like I will struggle if I try to pin that. All right, so this week has been about relationships and connection. As leaders, it is so important for us to not only build relationships and rapport with the people that we are working with across the board, like our peers, and to be able to level up and level down, but we also want to be able to really, truly build relationships and connections with the people that we influence, the people who are our direct reports, the people who are counting on us to set the vision, to set the tone, to set the pace, and truly to set the culture. So this week, every day, we're talking about an element of relationships and connection, because I know that if we connect, then lead, it is a game changer. Can we lead without connecting? Sure, people do it all the time. The level of effectiveness, though, I know is going to be different if we connect first, lead second. So whenever possible, let's try to focus on the connection so that we can lead more powerfully, so that we can lead remarkably, so that we can lead in a way that's going to resonate with the folks who we need on the ground level to get stuff done and to execute. Yes? Yes? Thanks for tuning in, Opulent Mind Shift and Trickets. Is it Trickets? Am I saying that right? Or is it T Ricketts? Let me know in the comments, because I don't want to keep saying your name wrong. Okay, let's see. What do we have here? Hello, TCS Mommy and Daddy. Look, shoulder rolls for everyone. Shoulder rolls for everyone. So look, here's what I want to do today as we get ready to jump in, because I know people jump in, jump out, jump in, jump out. So while we're all here, I want to do a giveaway, because on Instagram, I'm either at 499 followers or 500, but because we're all here, might as well. I want to do a giveaway of the Plug t-shirt. Right now, they're unisex. They were women's fitted, however, comma, life and being an entrepreneur. So I have some unisex ones in small, medium, and large. And I want to do a giveaway for a Plug t-shirt. The way that you win, whether you're watching now or you're watching the replay, and I'll announce the winner tomorrow and then I will ship it to you. The way that you win is if you're on Instagram, you share this video using the paper plane with 3 people and tag me so that I know that it happened. On Facebook, you share this video to your page and you leave a comment in the video in both places, right? So on Instagram and on Facebook, you will leave a comment, and on Instagram, you will forward the video to 3 people, and on Facebook, you will share the video to your page, and make sure that you are following the communication strategist either on Instagram or on Facebook, so that I know that you've hit all of those points, and then I will announce the winner tomorrow. All right, so let me repeat that. If you are on Instagram, you would forward this video to 3 people, even if you're watching the replay. On Facebook, you would share the video to your page. You will also leave a comment, something friendly, be kind, yes, yes. And you will make sure that you are already following the communication strategist either on Instagram or on Facebook. I hope that worked. Welcome, Casey Fuller Scott. Congratulations on your doctorate. So I guess that is Dr. Fuller Scott. All right, so as we jump into today's episode, who am I? I'm Dorothy Enriquez. I'm the principal and founder of The Communication Strategist, a boutique learning and leadership development firm where I help ordinary people become remarkable leaders. Because I always say, why be ordinary when you could be remarkable? Yes, yes. And if you are tuning in, I know that you are remarkable. You're not out here just trying to live like a regular life, just trying to be very average, very normal, very ordinary. That's not you. You want to take things to the next level, right? You want to really rally when it comes to leadership. You want to make sure that your communication is tight. You want to make sure that you're effective, that you're impactful, and that you are getting things done. And that you're leaving your legacy behind, right? You want to leave the place better than you found it. Because for each of us that has direct reports, do you know what you're doing? You're creating a culture in your organization. With each department, there is a culture. And then within each of those departments, guess what? There's subcultures because there's multiple managers and they all lead differently. Why don't we all strive to be the leader that when folks go home at night or they're safer at home and so they've just been interacting with us virtually throughout the day, that when they're talking about their experiences at work around the dinner table, they've got something positive to say. They've got something impactful to say. As I always share with folks that I'm coaching, what are your people saying about you around the dinner table? And that requires us to be really intentional with our leadership. We have to. Welcome, Erica. Thanks for tuning in, Sensational Flames. Shoulder roll, shoulder roll. All right, so as we're getting ready to jump into today's content, since we had a few more people join, I saw some hearts. Yes, shoulder roll. We are doing a giveaway today, y'all, and today's giveaway is for a plug t-shirt. It is a unisex t-shirt. It is the gold one that you've seen me sport, and that if you follow me, you have seen it on social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. So the way to win today's giveaway, we'll run it I'll announce the winner tomorrow, just in case if you're watching the replay, right? So the way that you win, if you're tuning in on Instagram, you send this video to 3 people. Make sure you tag me so that I know what happened. Send it to 3 people. Leave a comment. Be kind, yes. And make sure that you are already following the Communication Strategist. That's for Instagram. On Facebook, Camera One, right? You will share this video to your page. You will leave a comment. Be kind, of course. And you'll want to make sure that you are already following the Communication Strategist on Facebook. The winner will be announced tomorrow, just in case if folks are watching the replay. And I notice while folks tune in live for sure, they also watch the replay. For those who miss it or can't tune in all the way and then they like the topic. So that is the giveaway. All right, let's jump into Hello, I'm Awesome. All right, so we talked about relationships and connections. And the reason why this is so important, especially as women leaders, is because this is the game changer. This is the difference between being stagnant in our job, in our role at our organization, and being able to soar. Let me tell you something. I always say that I barely survived corporate. I really started to connect the dots. So I was in corporate for 15 years. I really started to connect the dots the last 4 years in corporate. And by then, honestly, y'all, I was pretty cooked. I feel like I spent a lot of time spinning my wheels. I spent a lot of time trying to just crack the code and a lot of times trying to figure out the game because honestly, I knew something was going on. I just couldn't connect the dots and I didn't really have anyone to break it down and explain it to me. Really, the feedback was make sure you work really hard. Make sure you get to work early. Make sure you get there before your boss. Make sure you leave after your boss. Things like that. But that doesn't really help you play the game. The folks who play the game the best understand that relationships and connection is the key. I didn't know that. Had I known that, I think I would have been, by the time I exited corporate 15 plus years later, I think I would have been a lot further along had I had someone really break it down to me in a way that my poor little brain could process, and I'd be able to connect the dots, right? And so I don't want that for you. I don't want that for you. I do not want you to be in corporate for 10, 20, 30 years, and you're just kind of like, I don't get it. What happened? Especially for my women of color. We particularly struggle in this area for a variety of reasons, part of which the fact remains that a lot of times women of color don't actually get real actionable feedback. They get feedback all the time, but it's usually not real actionable feedback that we can do something with. And what happens is this slows us down tremendously. Right? And so that's why we're dedicating this week to talking about relationships and connection. Had I figured these things out earlier in my career, it would have been a game changer completely, but I didn't know. Did I have relationships? Absolutely. I've always been notorious for making friends at work. But this goes a little deeper than just making friends at work. And we probably all know people at work, and we've probably even established some strategic connections, and then we don't know what to do with those connections. So that's why I want to talk about this content. Yes, Erica, shoulder roll. Yes. So look, these are my notes. And so really it is, as I'm like hiding on Instagram, this is the Hello, I'm Awesome worksheet. It's a double-sided worksheet to help you develop your what's it called? It's a double-sided worksheet to help you cultivate your ultimate corporate network. And then on the other side, it helps you develop your personal brand and your position statement. Like, how do you want to position yourself at work? The reason why that's important, and we'll probably dive into that on another day, but as you're curating and building and cultivating this network, you need to have a brand attached to it. And if you don't think you're a brand, you're wrong. And if you haven't positioned your brand, guess what? People will happily do it for you, and they won't do it right. They will do it however they feel like doing it. And your goal and your mission is to control the message. But that is for another day. Today, we're focusing on the ultimate network. Okay, yes, Opulent Mindshift says, yes, so true. All right, so a lot of us have friends at work, right? Some of us tend to be, some of us may be a little bit more antisocial. And I'm here to tell you, stop it. Stop doing that. Stop going to work and being super antisocial. Not good. Not good at all. You want to rally your life and get it together. I get that you don't want people in your business. I get it. I get that sometimes it feels like there is a cultural divide when you are a woman of color trying to live in a predominantly white environment. I understand. And if you're the only, it ends up being even more challenging when you're the only Hispanic, the only Asian, the only Black girl, the only Indian girl, whatever the case may be. That makes it so much more challenging, and it makes it an even heavier lift because then people put pressure on you to carry your race. Who needs that? It's no fun. Nevertheless, though, when we go to work, one of our primary jobs is to establish those connections and those relationships in and outside of the office. So when I think about building this ultimate corporate network, I wish someone would have told me, and I wish someone would have helped me. So there are 3 categories that I want us to dive into. Category 1 is the cheerleaders, right? Who is cheering you on? I need you to have an army of people repping you, right, across the board. But inside of this army, we want to have some specific people in the mix. One of those types of people are the cheerleaders. These are the people who really want you to win in 2020 and every year going forward. These are your hype women and your hype men who really know how to gas you up from a place of empowerment and positivity. They're not going to say things like, oh my God, if you jump off the roof, I just know you'll fly. not gas you up in that way, but really cheer you on and gas you up in a way that aligns with what you're trying to do as you are getting this career tight, right, ready to go and blossoming, right, like this wall behind me. So you want your cheerleaders. When you're building your ultimate network, especially for my corporate hustlers, you need to have at least three. Because if one's not available, you've got two more, right? And you don't want to put all of the pressure on one of your cheerleaders to do all of the heavy lifting to keep you gassed up. And so you might be thinking like, why is that so critical? Why do I need people to gas me up? Here is why, especially for my women leaders. The way that we come to leadership and the way that we evolve in leadership and transform in leadership, we often don't have the same support and the same access that men do. And because of that, it's easy as we're pushing forward, climbing, hitting obstacles, pushing forward, climbing, and hitting more obstacles and challenges. It's easy to lose confidence. It's easy to lose our way. And oh my goodness, it is very, very, very easy to forget who we are. So we've got the cheerleaders in place, primed and ready to remind us because we forget. And even when we don't realize we've forgotten, we still need that reminder so that we can continue to move forward. So we want to have the cheerleaders, and ideally, the cheerleaders should be across industries. We are building a corporate network, and so it doesn't always have to be people that work in our organization. These can be across industries, across sectors. This could be, they could be in nonprofit, they could be in small business. We want to grow our networks, and our goal over this next year or two is to figure out how can we double, triple, and then quadruple our networks. Yesterday, that's what we talked about. Men are so good at this. And as women, we struggle in this area because we have this need and desire for these deep connections. And so when we're building this ultimate corporate network, we want to have that strategy behind it. More is better. The more, the merrier, right? And instead of this idea that we tend to really live out loud, less is best. No, more is better, right? So cheerleaders, we want to have at least three. This is in the spirit of the ultimate corporate network. Hello, I'm awesome. Getting folks to remind us of who we are. Next, we need to have allies. Allies and cheerleaders are different. They are not the same. So you want to make sure that you've got allies, and you want to have at least 4 allies. So let me talk a little bit about allies. Your allies can be in the company and outside of the company. I recommend that you have at least 2 in the company. Y'all, let me tell you something about allies. Your allies are individuals who have influence. Cheerleaders, sometimes they have influence, sometimes they don't. But you want to make sure that you are putting folks in the right role, right? Some people compare right role to like flowers, right? When they look at corporate America, they want to make sure that they can bloom where planted. Are they in the right soil? i.e., are they in the right position? Are they in the right department? Do they have the right boss? Can they bloom where planted? Also, people look at corporate and the experience like a bus, right? Everybody's on the bus. You got all the right people on the bus. Are they in the right seat? And so when you're looking at your network, are you slotting people in the right place? You don't want to have a cheerleader, but really they should be an ally. You don't want to have them slotted as an ally, and really they're more of a cheerleader, right? But when we're thinking about allies, again, oh my God, when I think about the first 10 years of my career, and here's the deal. I would be in meetings watching these things transpire, and I still couldn't connect the dots because I did not know what was happening, right? That would be like, I don't know, me expecting my 2-year-old daughter to connect the dots of cooking. She doesn't really know what's happening. She just knows mommy's in the kitchen and a lot of things are stirring, and all of a sudden she's got bacon and waffles and bananas on her plate, right? And so you could see things transpiring. It doesn't mean that you're always able to connect the dots. Your allies are individuals that you have picked, and they have some type of influence. They may not have a ton of power, but they have influence. And when I say power, I mean power that has been identified as by the organization, right? Like this individual is a senior leader, they have power. No, I'm talking about the folks who have some influence. When they talk, people listen, or they have the visibility that maybe you also have or you don't have just yet. When your allies are in rooms that you're not in, they can bring the information back to you so that you are aware. Hey, Dorothy, I was in X meeting with X individuals, and they were trying to figure out who would be best for this project, and your name didn't come up. And I know that you've had this on your radar. I think you need to be a little bit more strategic about sharing your background with the folks who were in this meeting so that as these opportunities arise, your name is going to come up. That's what your ally is going to do for you. And depending on how much influence they have, they might even say, you know who we should actually look at? We should look at Dorothy. She would be great for this. Here's how I know why. So more along the lines with allies, they need to know what you're doing. It cannot just be that you hang out with your ally, you go to lunch with your ally, or you all hang out in some of the communal areas at work, or right now everybody's at home. You guys are checking in via IM and things like that, and you're just keeping the connection alive. Your ally needs to know what you're doing. And for women, sometimes this can be hard for us because then we feel like we're bragging or we feel like we're tooting our horn. Sis, toot away, toot away. Tell your ally, hey, I've got this new, and this is just an example, right? But I've got this new ebook. It's called The Plug. It's really designed to help people develop in their leadership while staying home and staying safer at home and staying sane to the best of their ability. While we work from home, working the best that we can. It's a 14-day guided experience, and people are loving it. It's flying off the virtual shelves. I really want people to understand why this is valuable. And I just want you to know that this is the project I'm working on, ally, because then guess what happens? The ally is going to go and sing your praises. And because your ally has influence in your organization, now the right people start hearing about what Dorothy's working on. Ooh, yes, hair. Oh, yes. Shoulder roll. So, right? You want your allies to know what you're working on. When you know that you've slotted this person, when you're thinking about relationships, connection, and your ultimate network map, and you've slotted this person in the ally category, make sure they know what you're working on. Make sure they know your strengths, your skill sets, and some of your goals and aspirations so that they can take it with them on your behalf. The last thing you want is someone with influence being in a room that you're not in yet, but you could be, and all they have for you, sis, is Dorothy's great. Oh, okay, great. You've got some senior leaders present. What's great about her? I mean, she's phenomenal. She's great. I really think she would be a value add for the project. And then guess what's going to happen? That ally is going to be a little bit more careful the next time they advocate for you, or they might not advocate for you at all. Tell them what you're doing. Talk to them about your projects and give them something to carry in their back pocket. Fill their arsenal with information about you. That's why they're your ally, and you have carefully picked this individual, right? So you want at least 4 allies. Then lastly, mentors. With mentors, you want to pick people that are a couple steps ahead of you. Can you pick people that are miles ahead of you? Absolutely. But when you're thinking about some of your different mentors, you want them at different levels to really help bolster your development, right? Because someone who is just a couple steps ahead of you, they've figured out a ton of things in those couple of steps that you haven't. Having a mentor that's a couple steps ahead of you is the difference between, a 10-year-old and a 14-year-old, right? And so while 10 and 14 doesn't sound that far apart, it is light years apart, right? And the difference between somebody who is 25 and 30, while it's only a 5-year difference, it's light years, versus somebody who's 55 and 60. That might not be that big of a difference. But picking someone who's a couple steps ahead of you can give you some additional information that you don't have yet in your back pocket to help you really advance your career and climb the jungle gym that is corporate America, right? By picking some mentors that are a couple steps ahead of you, and then also picking some mentors that might be in a spot that's 3-4 levels from where you are right now. But you want to be strategic with your mentor. And this part might blow your mind. So I apologize in advance, but not really. I wish someone would have told me. Your boss can't be your mentor. No, no, no. Why, you ask? My boss is my mentor now. It's great. I love her. I love him. He's amazing. The reason why your boss can't be your mentor is there is a fine line with what they have been tasked to do. They are there to manage your performance. They are there to manage your performance. That's why they cannot be your bestie, and they cannot be your mentor. They can coach you. They can't be your mentor. You need to pick someone else. Let your boss be your boss. Doesn't mean that you guys can't have a great relationship. Doesn't mean that you guys cannot have a great connection. Doesn't even mean that you literally can't follow this boss from company to company to company. People do that all the time, but your boss is not your mentor. If anything, they are your mentor in your head, okay? You need to find someone else to be your mentor. And if you have a mentor in the organization, also try to find a mentor that is external. And for all of my ladies, all of my women of color, you want to try to do this informally. I know. Many companies have formal mentoring programs, but the research also shows for us, the person who benefits the most from those formal mentoring programs are the mentors. They are the ones who end up getting the promotion. They're the ones who end up getting the raise. They're the ones who end up with the most visibility. So for the person seeking the mentoring, I would recommend going down the informal path unless your organization is a little bit more self-actualized and a little bit more advanced, and they have controlled for that very element, right? So for review, 3 types of folks that we want in our ultimate network. We want cheerleaders. They're going to remind us of who we are. They're going to remind us that yes, we can. And they're going to remind us that even though it's hard, we can do hard things. We also need allies. These are people with influence. They have the ability to carry our names into rooms that we're not present in, or we're not even going to be in that room just yet because of where we are in our journey and in our career. But we need allies to carry our name and our brand, our personal brand forward. And that means that they need to know what we're working on. And then lastly, we need mentors. Yes, we need mentors, and we should have at least 2. One inside the organization and one out. I strongly recommend, though, going the informal route versus the formal route, because in the formal route, the mentor benefits more than the mentee, right? Right. All right. So that is Hello, I'm Awesome, the ultimate network map, the ultimate guide to building this corporate network and making magic in these streets. If you want to learn more and you want the worksheet, you know how you get it, because it's free. Sign up for the Corporate Hustlers newsletter. When you sign up, I send it to you and you can make magic, and you can even get the backside of the worksheet, of course, which helps you develop your personal brand and positioning statement. Because as these people are advocating on your behalf, you've got to have a tight personal brand so that they'll want to do these things, right? And this worksheet will help you do that. You get it when you sign up for the Corporate Hustlers, even if you're watching the replay. So mosey on over to the link in the bio and click Corporate Hustlers. Yes. All right. So If you just now tuned in, you'll want to go ahead and watch the beginning of this live because I talk about the giveaway. In fact, I talk about it twice. The giveaway for the plug t-shirt, it is a unisex t-shirt for the plug. And I kind of briefly brushed over the journey of being an entrepreneur because it's not supposed to be unisex. No, it is not. So look, we are doing a giveaway though because I am at like 500 followers on Instagram. I've been working so hard on this. I have been consistent, right? And really trying to make magic. So in celebration, it's a giveaway. So make sure that you follow the instructions. I'll announce the winner tomorrow and I will go ahead and ship your shirt to you. Remember, I've got smalls, mediums, larges on Instagram. You're sharing with 3 people and tagging me so that I know that it happened. And then you want to make sure that you already like TCS on IG, and then you want to leave a comment. Of course, be kind. On Facebook, same rules, except you're not sharing with 3 people. You are going to just share to your page and leave a comment, be kind, and make sure that you're already following the communication strategist. All right, so I'm Dorothy Enriquez. This has been another episode of Day to Day with Dorothy. These magnetic lashes and these curls are here to support you on your leadership journey as we help ordinary people become remarkable leaders. Until tomorrow, y'all, shoulder roll. Remember, you have to lead from every seat you sit in. It's required. You have to. And so how effective do you want to be? I can help. All right. Yes, consistency. Yes, opulent mind shift. All right, y'all. Until tomorrow, lead from every seat you sit in. Bye. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Okay, Facebook. You know, you get the last show. Roll. Yes. All right. Until tomorrow. I will see you soon. Bye.